Sup?
Welcome to Tales to Morrow. I am Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me I have a very special guest. Meet Mary, the druid.
Hello, I am Mary. I like animals, I hate people, and Morrow smells very badly.
I took a shower, what the fuck? Today we have some RPG horror stories, and I have a very special guest that's gonna be maybe not reading, but definitely commentating on some of the stuff to see what kind of horrifying things happen in the world of RPGs. DM forced my character to sleep with his character, requested ERP after session. I've very much been on the D&D grind lately and only recently came across this sub, so I thought I would share the only real horror story that has been stuck in the back of my head the past 4 years I've played D&D. The party was adventuring through a spooky forest during nightfall, and one of the party members was quite exhausted from their resources, so we managed to find a small inn on the outskirts to rest at. The place felt quite homely until we met a pair of traveling merchants who were shapeshifter siblings. The DM was quick to reveal these were his characters that he had played as before. One of them began flirting with my character, but I made it clear I wasn't interested before he turned to trying to magically charm me. Thankfully I saved and then put my foot down, but the rest of the party didn't read the room and insisted we finished resting there. Hey Mary, how do you feel about being forcefully charmed to flirt with somebody?
I'd probably kick them in the balls, probably. Or I can sack Gilbert onto them.
Little bit of context. Mary loves animals. She has a demon rabbit from hell. She has a ghost dog.
Zaster is not a demon. He's just an
Zaster
ordinary
might as well
rabbit.
be a demon. He is literally Zaster the something. I forgot the name of him. It's literally a rabbit named Zaster the...
Zaster, the one who shall not be named.
Exactly. How is that not a demon? How is that not a demon
name.
entity? Though, well, I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, it is an RPG horror story for a reason. The DM's character then tried to spice up the night for the rest of the party by challenging our barbarian to a duel. If the barbarian won, we would get supplies for a day ahead of us, and if he lost, then I'd have to take something from us instead. I spent most of the fight watching, discreetly casting spells to aid the barbarian before he won the fight. But the DM's character would notice my tampering and rule that he won by default, before picking my character up and taking him to his room, with a session ending then and there. Did your DM like give you like a warning like, hey, if you do that, it might be noticeable, there might be some sort of rules for that? I hope there was something about that, but I mean, at the same time, your party want to make sure that you don't have your stuff taken from you, or whatever it is that the DMPC characters have. Seriously, why is it always the DMPCs? Every single time is always just DMPCs doing creepy, weird things. And it's always on a sexual side too. It gotta be a fetish. It has to be a fetish at this point.
I know there's like certain stories people do focus on like the not safe for work stuff, but this is like when you're forcing someone to do it, that's just disgusting. Like, hey Morrow, get against the wall.
Whoa, hold on, what?
Roll initiative.
Oh no! don't initiative me for non-consent. Consent is very important with these sort of things, especially at the D&D table. And if your DM is doing something that really isn't to your forte or something that you don't like, it's always better to speak up.
Always say no when it's uncomfortable.
Exactly. Always say no when it's uncomfortable. Speak up. Don't stay quiet. After everyone started to leave, the DM stopped me and asked me to stay to play out the rest of the session in private. Ew.
Oh.
Gross.
No.
Ew.
No.
Ew. What'd you find this DM? I declined and immediately left, but he would keep trying to pry via text later that night, asking what my character would do. I asked if I could slit his character's throat in sleep, but he of course declined, but told me that I'd wake to his character gone, leaving behind a note asking to have fun again some other time. Ugh, I don't like that. That's slimy. If you do want to have like I understand some DMs and some games out there are a little more open to sexual advances and sexual things, and that's fine. Either you agree to like fade to black, or if the two consenting adults deciding they want to actually continue that, they can decide to go a little more into detail. We've read stories before where some people were a little bit more open to kind of ERP, intimate kind of stuff before. They make sure they both agree to it. And it sounds like the OP here didn't agree to anything, and the DM just kept just pushing and just prodding and continuously forcing that on him. I pretty much cut contact with the group after that. Though years later, I noticed that he occasionally likes some of the art I post on social media, and it reminds me of this story from time to time. Edit 1 is Carl stuff, but we do have an edit 2. This is my first post here, and some of you have pointed out that it may be wrong of me to show sympathy. In all honesty, I just had this lingering guilt ever since I decided to share this story for some reason. Hope that while you read the comments below, you can keep in mind how I may feel going about something like this for the first time. Thank you all for the kind words.
Well, I mean, if someone was to be kind of like that or give that kind of vibe at the beginning, like, people, you should just leave straight away, because if you think, oh, I might get better, most of the time, or literally all the time, it never does. Find a better group, or like maybe find some friends to get into D&D too, like someone who made someone get into too.
I got married into D&D. Well, at least it's good that OP quickly left the group and cut contact. I mean, maybe the other players honestly didn't have anything to do with it. There's a lot of lack of context, right? Maybe some of the other players disagreed with what the DM is doing. Maybe they didn't notice. Maybe they were too distracted. Maybe thought everything was lighthearted. I don't think there was a lot of communication going on, but the fact that you got yourself out of that situation, I think, is a good thing.
I can understand it being scary to leave too, because like, I have anxiety, and dealing with like having to say no to someone is extremely difficult. So I feel like just having someone you can talk to too is very useful, like having a close friend just to like, explain things so you can get that push to get out of the situation. You can rely on yourself, but sometimes it's too hard to do it alone, so you need someone to give you that friendly like, no, get out of there.
Though this situation, the OP did really well. They were able to stand up and notice these red flags and got themselves out safely. I'd recommend blocking the DM on the social media though, because I mean, what's the point of keeping contact, right? What's the point of getting those random likes? It's like a really crappy reminder that something bad has happened, and you just have to person to remind you every single time. It's like, hey, remember, I still exist. Just block him and get him out of your life. Have you ever experienced fetish farming? Fetish farming is when someone wants a plot point to happen in an RP that seems like innocent storytelling at first, but is actually being used to fuel their fetish. Examples of fetish farming I've had to deal with. The DM trying to turn my OC into a mushroom girl, which looked like basically my character, but turned into a sexualized Gijinka myconid. What the hell is a Gijinka myconid?
No, is it a type of mushroom?
I don't know, but I want to look it up. I want to Google that. Oh, yeah, that's like a little tiny mushroom person. Wait, so they just want to turn them into like a mushroom thing? Oh, maybe they have like a fetish for that sort of thing. Like into like having like mushroom people who do weird mushroom people things.
Maybe they just want a mushroom up their ass.
Maybe they just want a mushroom up their ass, so they want to turn a player into a mushroom to stuff them up their... Why ass?
I don't know.
I was rolling with that until I really gave it a thought. It's like, why ass specifically? Why are we going with mushroom up your ass? Guy who was weirdly insistent that his OC be mind controlled and corrupted by the BBEG, and later saved by the party. Yeah, mind control stuff is scary. I don't like it. I think it's pretty... Ugh. I mean, even if a player wants it, it's also up to the DM if they're okay with that sort of thing. If they're not okay, I wouldn't want that sort of thing. If you want to like get your weird fetishes, like do weird things in my games, no thank you. You can go other tables.
I mean, if it's like normal, like a one-off thing, not for like sexual stuff, but like a funny scenario.
If it was normal, it wouldn't be called a fetish. That's the biggest change behind it, yeah.
Fetish on this, I know, but I was just saying like normal.
We're not talking about like having like a heartwarming reunitement with your long lost parents or anything. We're talking like mushrooms up the ass. That's what we're talking about.
Why are you bringing up my parents?
Why are you talking about mushrooms? Wait, were your parents turned into mushrooms and went up your ass?
I don't know, because I don't know my parents. I don't know my family.
It's okay, I was an orphan too, it's fine. Girl whose PC was obviously created to be attractive to her, emo rogue tiefling, who constantly gets captured, has his clothing ripped up, etc.
Does this sound like an anime scenario?
It sounds exactly like an anime scenario. It sounds like a cheesy anime premise. Listen, I get tieflings are hot and stuff, but like, if they don't want to be declothed, don't force them to be declothed. Also, imagine being a DM for that sort of thing, right? Imagine, okay, Mary, pretend you're the DM and I go like, hey Mary, I want to be a really cool, edgy tiefling that gets captured a lot and gets their clothes ripped off to show their epic abs and a crazy cool peen. Can you do that for me? Can I have that as a thing?
No.
Either way, if the DM is not consenting to this, have I ever experienced fetish farming? I don't think so. Breaking character. Person behind Morrow, I love the loot. I love the horny. I love some shocky by women and stuff. I love that, right? But Morrow, about it. I mainly care just about survival, and if I can get a good gamble going or and win something nice or get that she-devil succubus out of my life. But, you know, otherwise, you know, keep your fetishes to yourself. Keep them where they should be, in the very back of your sex dungeon.
Do I have a fetish?
I don't know, do you have a fetish?
Is cheese a fetish?
Cheese could be a fetish.
Oh, damn.
Well, Mary unlocked her fetish.
Is there squirty cheese?
Did you just say squirty cheese?
Mm-hmm.
Ew, no.
Is
We're
he,
moving
like,
on.
spray cheese
No,
or anything?
ew. We're moving on. We're moving on. Forget about the cheese. We're moving on. How do I keep playing with this group? Advice, please. So I'm a DM for a group of 3 of my friends, 4 of us in total, and I've been playing with them for about 2 years now. We're all friends outside of game, but game gives us a reason to get together. So I really like to keep DMing for them if I can, but they are combative. Well, all except for one. The other 2 are incredibly combative with every single NPC who they even think has so much of a different plan of action than them. Not even NPCs that are evil or against them. No, if they so much believe that the NPCs wouldn't be 100% on board with whatever plan they come up with, they get loud and immature, yelling profanity at the NPC and not listening to another word the NPC has to say. This is funny a few times, but it gets really irritating the longer the campaign has been going on. The 2 of them resort to things like that for pretty much every NPC they don't like, and I've expressed to them that this is an occasional trigger happy leaps into combat for no reason is not really what I wanted for this game, as it is quite out of the genre. For reference, this is a Glitter Hearts campaign, which is supposed to be Sailor Moon style magical girls. You know, that sounds actually really adorable. Oh my god. Can we do that? Can we play that? That sounds great.
Wait,
that
no.
actually sounds so good.
No, because you're not making another campaign. There's way too many at once right now.
Well, what if somebody else runs it? What if you run it? What if you run it and I'm a player there?
Oh, Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon magical girl. That sounds like a lot of fun. Also, don't be giving me that look. I am allowed to be a magical girl if I want to, okay? Tell her, Mary.
He likes to wear dresses in his meantime.
Wait, no, hold on, wait. No. I don't like to wear dresses.
Like
Hold
usually
on,
does
wait.
his makeup. He looks adorable. You should see the
Never,
pictures.
I've never done makeup. No, I just like.
Tutu. It's so cute.
Quit gaslighting.
Watch out, evildoers! It is me, magical Morrow, and I've come
Kiddo,
to cast
kiddo,
a spell on
kiddo.
you.
Your friends are being combative over a magical girl D&D campaign? That shouldn't be about like friendship and magic and all the goodness. I mean, I guess you could have like edgy magical girls and stuff. I guess you could have that. Though if it is a problem with your players just not getting along or not wanting to play a specific game, maybe you guys are just incompatible. Maybe you're looking for something different from the game. You're looking for more narrative story heavy kind of thing where you can meet a bunch of different NPCs. They're looking for, I guess, magical girl violence. I guess. I can't imagine magical girl violence, but it does sound fascinating. They changed for a little bit after I addressed it, but then went back to this. Now we're wrapping up the campaign with the next few sessions, and I don't know if I can DM for them again. I know for a fact that these 2 wouldn't DM, and the other player, who behaves themselves better, is already DMing a game for me alongside a different group of friends. It doesn't have time to DM another. I don't want to stop being in games with these 2, but I'm at a loss. And I don't want to DM a campaign where the whole point is to get mad and kill stuff. If it's worth anything, we tried playing Wonderhome, and those 2 didn't really step up and it just became me and my other player basically ad-lib DMing. I don't want to do that again, so DM-less games are off the table. However, I did run a shorter Fate game and they weren't so combative, so I don't know what the real difference is. I appreciate any advice you guys can give me. If the Fate game is a little bit more their style and makes them less combative, why not just DM more Fate? But if your players are very combative overall, then I mean, they're just combative, they're just the playstyle, just a different playstyle difference.
Maybe they were just kind of like bored of like the stories they were doing or something, so they were trying to do something to kind of be more exciting. So I think they definitely did need like a session that was more like thrilling or like something that gave them a bit of like to release their energy, you know?
Have you asked your players like for feedback on like what kind of stuff they want and what kind of stuff they like would do, what they enjoyed in the campaign? I think that would be the first step. Asking for feedback to see if what they liked is, you know, what they liked and what they disliked, and maybe find a common ground on things they all both enjoy together, so you can figure out how to proceed from there. Maybe he's right. Maybe they were a little bit bored, so they're getting a little bit rowdy to spice things up just to get more exciting and stuff. Maybe something with Fate was a little bit different, that's why they were less rowdy. Talk to your players, figure it out, have a little bit of a heart-to-heart to them and ask and see what they want to do.
I mean, if they don't see eye to eye, then it's not the group for you, and you should find other people that your pace, I guess, that understand you and you can understand them more. Like, basically, because a lot of people have different personalities, so it's hard to find like a group that will kind of mix well with you. So you've got to make sure you've got like a group you can feel comfortable around and have fun with and joke around with, rather than worry about every session that's going to be next. Otherwise, it's not worth it and takes the fun out of it.
And would that be all our stories for today? We hope you enjoyed the video. We hope you enjoyed the time reading. We hope you enjoyed Mary's company over here. Mary doesn't really have any social media or anything. I don't even have social media. But hey, listen, if you liked the video, leave a like, leave a comment, let us know what you liked about it, and subscribe to the channel. Either way, we'll see you in more Tales tomorrow.